Hey guys, it's Matt.
And Chels.
We have an awesome opportunity. We are here with Guillermo. Hey guys, it's Matt.
And Chels.
We have an awesome opportunity. We are here with Guillermo from Angelus Apatrida. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess that up there. This is the lead singer / lead guitarist and rhythm guitarist. They've got a new album coming out on February 5th called Angelus Apatrida. I swear I'll get that right.
Yeah.
Well, after this interview, you will.
So, that being said, first of all, you guys have been around for 20 years.
You're celebrating 20 years.
Yes, celebrating 20 years. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you. It's not the best year to celebrate anything bad.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't. Especially a milestone like that, though. 20 years, that's a long time as a band. And I was just curious, you guys started when nu metal was like all the rage. How hard was that being a thrash band to do that?
No, it wasn't hard at all. We started playing together 20 years ago because we started super young. I mean, that we were like between 12 and 14 years old. We were kids, like very, very small kids, and we were starting listening to a lot of music. We were born in the 80s, but of course we would rise in the 90s. So yeah, of course, I think that the new metal wasn't the worst thing, but the power metal. The European power metal, like that was the thing that was hitting very, very hard, especially here in Europe and in Spain. It was awful as fuck, man. That was hard. No, I love power metal. The former bands like Halloween or Gamma Ray, all that stuff, Blind Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, somehow new metal was also one of the kind of music that made us play faster and deeper as well. Because when I started listening to music, the thrash metal was still alive, but they were it was about to die in the beginning of the 90s. But one big band came to the show, which was Pantera, and with something completely new. And of course, another band, which is one of my favorites, Machine Head. So they forgot about Violent, and they started Machine Head, and for me it was like, what the fuck is this? So this is mad. This is what I want to play. So imagine in the beginning of the 90s, I was like 8 years old, so I started listening to everything. And that was the result when the first time I took a guitar, I picked a guitar, and I started to play cover songs. I started playing since from Iron Maiden to Black Sabbath or Creator and Sepultura and Pantera as well. So the first time we played together, it was 20 years ago, was when I met David and Victor. And the bass player, Jose, is my brother, so I met him. I know him since I remember. But yeah, it was already 20 years, man. Come on, I'm getting old. We went through all this explosion of power metal and new metal scene, and actually, I have to admit that I really love a lot of new metal bands nowadays, and I really enjoy listening to Korn or even Limp Bizkit and stuff of POD. I really like it, and thanks to them, that another different styles came up, in my opinion, like the other bands. Into metalcore and all that. I'm proud of it and very happy with that.
All right. Our next question for you is, what are your biggest musical influences? Who has influenced you the most?
Well, I would say all the bands that I said before. But talking about music in general, I would say, of course, Iron Maiden for me is the band. It's the first thing I heard when I was a kid. And it really changed my mind and changed my life as well. And that was the main reason that I wanted to play a guitar. After that, I started to discover tons of different bands, like I told you before, Sepultura or Pantera or Machine Head, Anthrax, of course, Metallica. But I would say Iron Maiden together with Pantera and Megadeth, maybe. So one of my favorite bands since I was a kid. And of course, I've been very influenced well from the hardcore music and punk rock as well, since all the teenage times listening to NoFX or Offspring and La Baron, all that American punk rock. I love it.
I can definitely hear some of those influences in your music. Yes. So that's cool.
Yeah. In my opinion, it was always unchanged to the thrash metal that I like, especially thrash metal from the Bay Area. I think it's like brothers and sisters from the punk scene as well, and mixing it into crossover music. Of course, we got Suicidal Tendencies, DRI, and Anthrax, and all this stuff that I fucking love. So yeah, it could be one of the biggest influences in my career. But of course, every year, this past 20 years, I was learning a lot and discovering a lot of new bands all over the world, and trying to learn from all of them. And nowadays, for example, two of my favorite bands are Gojira or Mastodon, for example, the one of the bands that I love the most nowadays. So yeah, I could have spent like hours and hours talking about my favorite bands and my influences.
So can he, for sure.
Let's say that the main influences are Iron Maiden and Pantera and Bay Area thrash metal and hardcore and punk rock.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Man, I can totally relate with Mastodon. Those guys have never put out a bad album. One of the best. That being said, let's talk about your 7th album. Again, that's another big thing. 7th album. That's quite a few right there. What was it like recording this in the middle of a pandemic?
Yes. This is the most important point of this album. Is formerly it was supposed to be an EP, because we were touring a lot and we got a lot of great plans for 2020, and we didn't have enough time for doing a new album in this year. So we decided to make a new EP, like a 20th anniversary celebration, blah, blah, blah. But then the apocalypse started. So all the plans changed a lot. And so we keep on composing more music. So the album is completely written and produced during a global pandemic. So it's, I think of course, it didn't happen before in 100 years, and I hope it won't happen in the near future.
Oh yeah.
So you can imagine that. I mean, it's not. We didn't compose the album because of the pandemic, but the pandemic made us record this album.
Yeah.
And the result is a mix of a lot of different things and feelings and experiences that we were living through all these past months, especially here in Spain, that the pandemic in the beginning was really, really strong. And Spain was one of the worst countries, very, very punished with the COVID. So yeah, every day I was more inspired, and I got more things to write about in this album. So in the other side, it really helped me to keep my mind in the same plane like the rest of the world, and trying to keep my sanity and keep on working, because we're a band that this is our main job, and this is the way we live. I mean, we tour as much as we can, because this is our job, and we owe a company. So since this started, we're not working and we're losing a lot of money, and we need to work. So it was a good idea to start recording this new album, hoping that in 2021 the things will be better. So here we are promoting this new Angelus Apatrida album for the first time with a lot of American fellows.
So we actually listened to Indoctrinate last night. We reacted to it, and we'll be posting that soon.
Indoctrinate, feel fear to dominate. Indoctrinate, want to faith indicate. Predominate, some voices will be heard. Intoxicate, say talks to indoctrinate.
We loved it. It was
such
so
a good song.
We could tell that it was very politically charged, is what it felt like. What are some of the other influences of the subjects for your songs in the new album?
I wouldn't say political, since we are not talking about any political party or any ideology at all. We're just trying to express our feelings when we see that the human rights are attacked. So with Indoctrinate, for example, that was one of the angriest songs we ever composed. And we tried to reflect that heavy metal, it's something about unity and something about tolerance. So there's no place for racism. There's no place for homophobia or other kind of bigotry in not only heavy metal, but in the whole society. So this is why we wanted to do this kind of video, and I don't think it's a political theme, but I think it's just a matter about human rights. So,
Gotcha.
you know, nowadays things are really polarized. People are getting really crazy. Come on, what's happening in the USA right now these days? So it's like people, the pandemic is getting people really crazy, and I think that people are forgetting that heavy metal is a community above everything, and there's no place for that kind of thing. So that's why we decided to do this video and write this song. But we always made lyrics about this kind of social issues. I think it's very important, and it's part of the influences I got from the hardcore and the punk scene. Not talking only about Dungeons and Dragons and all that stuff, which is very good, and I love a lot of bands talking about this. And it's not only talking about death and satanic things, but I think it's important as well to fight for the human rights, and in my opinion. So this is why we are here, and this is our point of view about our own music, or influences, of course.
Man, I really like the message behind that. That's something that's like the best thing we could have over here in our country, in America, is that message right there.
Yes. Maybe it just resonated very well with me because of the mood in our country.
No, it's very important, man. It's like every day we are reading a lot of crazy things, crazy stuff on the internet, and it's like it's a shame that in 21st century we have to be like this again, because when I was a kid I thought that all of this would be over, but now it's like we're living in a dark nightmare. And like Nazis are again here, and it's like crazy things. It's like no, please. So I think it's important to send this message.
Yes. Another question about your upcoming album. I was a big fan of your ballad-esque song Farewell off of your last album. You got any more songs like that on this one?
No, trust me, we tried, but this year was very bad. So
being a thrash band, I totally understand it. I was just really caught off guard when I heard that song the first time. Man, your vocals are amazing. I just got to tell you, your range, we love your range in all the songs. You can just hear so many different bits. You have toured with some big bands, right? Give us a little background on who you've toured with.
We've been touring outside Spain with a lot of incredible bands, big ones and small ones, and of course we got the highlights that we were touring with Slayer, for example, and it was like a dream come true. We also, the first time we toured with Slayer was also with Megadeth during their Carnage tour. It was incredible, man, because they are two of our favorite bands ever, and they are just magnificent people. They're fantastic people, and they helped us a lot, and we learned a lot touring with them. and we made a lot of friends all over the world, and especially in the United States, we got a lot of band friends. They're like Havoc from Denver, Colorado. They are great friends of us, and Skeleton Witch and Goat Whore, Warbringer as well, of course. How to forget about Warbringer? we love them, and I mean we toured with a lot of bands. The last years we were touring mostly in Europe, like headlining tours and stuff. But every time we're supporting other bands or just joining other tours, we try to join as much as we can, and of course learn from the rest. It doesn't matter if it's a bigger or a smaller band. There is always something new and something positive to learn from them, and of course all the people and you meet all over the world, and not only Europe but in America, or when we've been touring in Asia or Australia as well. So I can't fucking wait to go back on tour and do my job, but at the same time keep on knowing so interesting people and amazing people.
See, I messed up the question order.
You did. We've got our questions in front of us, and he went out of order and threw me out of whack.
That one right there. You can pick that one up.
You're gonna.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got some upcoming touring, right?
More or less.
Yeah. With Evil Invaders.
We got it it was supposed to happen in February, but it's going to be postponed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're living the third wave of the COVID here in Europe. Spain is not that bad, but the rest of Europe is really, really fucked up. They are in the worst case right now. They are even worse than the past year. So mostly all the shows in Europe are completely canceled, and nobody knows what's going to happen. So far we just keep with our summer festivals, which I try to be optimistic, and I try to be and keep my fingers crossed that they will happen. But I don't know what's going to happen in summer as well. But we will try to start touring in February by the end of February, at least here in Spain. Try to do that kind of shows for a small audience, that they stay like sitting and with social distancing and stuff. I know it's a big shit, and especially when you're watching a thrash metal band. But guys, we need to eat, and I need to drink wine, and I need to pay my bills, and really I need to go back on tour until I'm gonna lose my mind. So so far these are the plans. There are many tours already announced for this year. For the other bands, but there are a lot of rumors that they are saying that they're not going to happen this year. Most of the tours are already being postponed to the next year, to 2022, which is a very, very bad thing, especially for small bands like us that we live by the day. I mean, if we don't tour, we don't have enough savings, and our savings are already in red numbers. So hopefully we can tour at least Spain, which we're lucky enough to be a big band here. So and come on, every time I speak about this, it's like I get more nervous, and my heart starts beating like, okay, in my mind comes like bills, taxes, bills. So, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed.
We get it. We
totally
get it.
Understand. One more question for you. We're a big fan of weird things, crazy stories. What's the craziest tour story you can share with us?
One that you're okay with people knowing.
Yeah, one that you're okay with.
Of course. I mean, we're normal people, and we're healthy people. We're not like Yankees or something like that. So we always try to behave the best we can. But of course, there are a lot of funny stuff. Now, one of the craziest things that came to my mind was in a European tour. We were touring with Suicidal Angels and Dr. Living Dead, and we were playing in Nice in the coast of France, and we were touring with a very, very big nightliner, but it was a very old one. and the venue was like in a hill, like in the top of the hill, and the driver was going like this, and there was we had an accident with the bus. And and it was raining a lot, and all the members were super drunk. So we decided it was raining as hell, and we took all this, I don't know how they are called in English, the bars on the highways that in order not to fall.
Oh yeah, the guardrails.
Yeah. But they were like super old, and they were made of wood. They were like this size and super big. So all of us were super drunk, and we tried to unscrew all of them and put it together like we were. Yeah, and it's a saying that is not recorded because it was very, very, very funny, but it was very dangerous because we were like this about to die because the bus just lose all the brakes, so it was like backwards going like this, like without control. No. So we just stuck in a place, and everybody inside the bus, but the bus was like a hell. So everybody was laughing, I think, because we were so nervous. And we built something like leather, something like some stairs, and we could go up from there. And I think that we didn't realize how dangerous was this until 2 or 3 days later. And that day we made a mosh pit and a wall of death inside the bus. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was like, okay, we were about to die, and I just remember the face of the driver, but we destroyed the whole bus inside. I mean, and the day after was like, okay, apologizes and cleaning everything. It was one of the best, one of the worst, and one of the best nights touring. And of course, there are other kind of pranks that you do to other people, like putting duct tape all over the bunk where he's sleeping, and just calling like emergency, everybody out of the bank, and then that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, we're a bit boring. I mean, we don't do drugs. We like to drink, but we're not like crazy people. But I have like stories like this, like a lot. We could make only one episode about talking about all this.
We like to prank each other too. It keeps things fun and interesting.
Yes.
And this just make me miss much more touring. Come on,
man. I feel for you guys. I hope you're able to get back out on the road soon. Definitely to support this new album. We're really looking forward to hearing it. It comes out February 5th again. Angelus Apparatus. Not apparatus. My
gosh, fix that.
Angelus Apatrida. There we go.
Now is the time for the learning this properly. Is Apatrida. Yeah, kind of. That's why we decided to name the album like this, because we know it's very, very difficult for non-Spanish people to pronounce the Apatrida word.
Apatrida.
And it was like, okay, let's gonna name this album like this, so everybody have to learn.
You have to learn the name of your band. That's very smart.
But actually, it's written on the cover artwork. You can read it in the international symbols, like Angelus Apatrida. And it's funny. I know it's an ugly name, but it's our name. So
we like it.
Hey, we like it.
We knew how to pronounce it.
I never like it. I have to admit, I always hate it. Actually, officially, we're still searching for a name. Like, officially, we're still searching for the singer. Mm-hmm. Because we got a former singer. I was playing guitars in the beginning. And actually, we never... we are still searching for a singer, so I'm still covering the place. So is the same for the name? We're still searching for a new name, because this is like how it's called, whatever. I forgot even the word.
Well, it doesn't feel like you're a placeholder.
Oh no,
we love your vocals, and maybe you'll never find another singer. We'd be okay with that.
All of you guys are just really talented band, man.
Yes.
Thank you. Now it's the joke that we always say, because I'm a very, very shy guy, and I never liked to sing and to be in the front of the band. I was always like hiding near the bass player, like, okay. So yeah, I started singing because we were searching for a singer, but we live in a very small town and there were no singers. So okay, I will keep singing until someone will appear. That was 20 years ago. So.
That was 20 years ago. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. This was awesome. Once again, we can't wait to listen to your new album.
Yes.
And
yeah. Also, we'll be releasing the reaction video for your song Indoctrinate on the same day we release this.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
we're done with the...
watching this. We're watching this and the reaction of the people. And of course, everybody, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all the social media until the 5th of February. And don't forget that we got the Spotify and you can play as much as you want. And we're going to release a new song very soon. So
I meant to ask you if you were going to release another single.
Of course. Come on.
Awesome.
We got enough time until the 5th of February. yes. Keep an eye on our socials. We're going to release something more.
All right. We'll look forward to that. Thank you so much, Guillermo.
Thank you, Guillermo.
Thanks to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be safe and talk
you
soon.
too.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.